You're...
We're ready, Freddy.
Hello! I feel like I need to say something besides hello at the beginning of all these. I say hello.
Welcome!
Welcome to Nintendo Labo! Alright, so... Hi, and...
Greetings, Earthlings.
Greetings and salutations. Mon frere. My... frere. Alright, here we go. What's up? Hi. Hello. I'm just gonna say hello. Hello, and welcome to the first ever episode of Matt Maggie Reviews, where Matt and Maggie review a movie we just watched.
Or a restaurant.
Do we review restaurants? I heard that the place on North and Main is to die for. When Chris Farley was the woman and Adam Sandler was like, I hope to die! And he's like, our next 5-star review.
Okay,
Have you ever seen that?
Yes, it's the old man.
Welcome to the first ever episode of Matt and Maggie Reviews, where Matt and Maggie review a movie that we just watched, or video game. Who knows what we're going to review. But today, we're reviewing, if you can't tell by everything around us, we will be reviewing Batman v Superman, Dawn of Justice. It's about time. That's all I got to say. No, we're going to be reviewing...
Justice League.
God. Today, we will be reviewing...
Avengers Infinity War.
Infinity War. And if you haven't watched our unboxing of the most recent Marvel Collector Core box, then spoiler alert, this came in and it's awesome. So, today we're going to be talking about Marvel's Infinity War. And let me just say, first up, we did a spoiler-free reaction video. You can go check that out if you haven't watched the movie yet. If you haven't watched the movie yet,
don't watch this.
Yeah, let's just call it from the beginning. We'll probably do some without spoilers, but...
At the beginning.
Yeah, honestly, it's best to just go watch this without... Go watch the movie, and then you can come back and watch this. Or you don't even have to come back and watch this. Just go watch the movie. It's that good. It's that good, I don't even want your view on this video. I would rather you go watch the movie. It is awesome. So go watch Infinity War. We have already been twice. We went opening night at 7... And then we got up this morning. I got up at 5 o'clock this morning, couldn't go back to sleep. And I said, you know what, Maggie? Let's go watch Infinity War again. And what did we do?
We went and watched Infinity War in 3D.
3D. Just going to throw this out there. Not worth it. It's fine. I think, honestly, this is the first time I think it actually detracted from the movie a little bit. It was just darker. And like Cap's suit, you couldn't tell was his actual suit from Civil War. It just looked like a black suit. So
nothing pops out.
Nothing really popped out at you, yeah.
So don't.
I'm gonna check the camera.
Okay.
But go ahead and finish your thought.
But don't waste your money on going to see it in 3D.
Yeah.
Save your money for concessions at least.
Yeah, get you one of these awesome cups.
Yeah.
Like Maggie got this cup. I got this one.
I got this one at NCG, and you can pick out your character.
And we also got a tin, popcorn tin that matches that.
Yeah.
Which you showed that in the video.
Yeah.
No video.
They had different little characters that you could pick from on your list. I picked Spider-Man. Now, if they had my man, Doctor Strange, I would have totally picked him.
Now, wait, are you saying Doctor Strange is your new favorite Marvel character?
He's been my favorite for a while.
But, I mean, more than Spider-Man.
No.
Okay.
No.
Because as long as I've known you, Spider-Man's your favorite.
Yeah, I'm even wearing a Spider-Man shirt today.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. So you love Doctor Strange.
Yes.
Spider-Man's your favorite. Not necessarily MCU.
Yeah.
Like, just in general, he's your favorite superhero. Him and Batman.
Yeah, Batman all the way.
So wait, so who's better, Batman or Spider-Man?
Batman.
That was really low and I couldn't hear you. What did you say your favorite one was?
Batman.
Basically, the idea for this is we're just going to have a conversation about what we thought about the movie, things we liked, maybe talk about some of the things we didn't like, which there's not really a lot of, spoiler alert, theorize about the next one, And
he's got too many theories about the next one.
I have a lot of theories. But no, this is just supposed to be kind of like just hanging out with your friends, talking about what you thought about the movie. That's the whole point of this. We're not going to give it any kind of rating like 5 stars or 2 thumbs or 16 fingers. We're not going to do any of that. So here we go. Avengers Infinity War. Ladies and gentlemen. Ladies and gentlemen. I just want to say, I think Avengers Infinity War is the best made Marvel movie. Period. I'm not willing to say it's my favorite. Not yet. I mean, I could, maybe. I'm not willing to say that yet. But I do think that just quality-wise, Infinity War doesn't get any better than this. This is Marvel full stop all the way. They have learned over 19 movies how to make a movie. And
finally.
19 movies and 10 years of this. We've got all the movies right here. And I just got to say, they have hit their pinnacle. I don't know where we go from here, how they can do better. I don't know. Because even when we watched Civil War, we knew Infinity War to some degree was going to happen. We knew at some point the cosmic side, the Avenger side, all of it's going to come together and we're going to fight Thanos. We knew that was going to happen. But I don't know how you top this. I don't know if you can top it. I don't know if you can have more characters in it and make it better. I don't know. I feel like they were really...
More.
Oh my gosh. They were pushing it as far... Like, everybody got their time. I feel like some characters didn't get enough time, which is understandable. It's not a drag on it. Mm-hmm. But I do feel like, you know, I feel like Winter Soldier, he was in just a handful of scenes. I feel like the entire Cap side of the equation really suffered from this movie. I think, honestly, oddly enough, I feel like the Guardians, like, were treated as equally as the Avengers were.
Yeah.
That's like 2 movies compared to 16, right? And the fact that the Guardians split up and they got as much, I felt, as equal time as the Avengers got. And that blew me away. I did not expect that. No. I figured the Guardians would get about as much screen time as Cap's group would get. Going into this movie, we got 3 groups. We've got the Tony Stark, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man, and then half the Guardians group. We've got Cap's group, which includes Bucky, Scarlet Witch, Black Panther, Vision, War Machine, Falcon.
Hulk.
The Hulk. A lot of Black Panther, all of Black Panther's supporting characters also. Like there's at least 3 extra characters thrown in there. So I feel like maybe that's why that group suffered the most from screen time.
Because there's so much.
Yeah, I mean there's just so much. And I mean it's fine, but like especially coming out of like Civil War, which was a very focused Captain America movie, and then like everybody was supporting Captain America. This is everybody is the main character.
Yeah.
And you know, so you didn't get those moments. You got a handful of them, but you didn't get like the moment where Falcon and Bucky are sitting in the car.
Yeah.
Right. Like that was awesome. You did, you know, you did get the bowing, which was good. I mean, that was good. And you got them talking about the beer and stuff. Like, in those little comedic moments was in there. Yeah. Spider-Man talking to Doctor Strange. Oh, we're using our made-up names. Like, you got some of that. The Jesus line from Star-Lord.
What master do you serve?
What do you want me to say? Jesus?
Well, he's from Earth.
God.
Yeah, I'm from Earth. I'm from Missouri. Oh, God. Yeah. Back to what you saying that this was the best of the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
Like, we got Guardians of the Galaxy and Avengers.
Yeah.
You would say it's the best of both worlds.
Actually, you can watch Matt and Billy buying the best of both worlds, available on Hopefully Awesome Facebook and YouTube channel right now.
Anyways, I think the reason why we think that the Cap side didn't get as much FaceTime in the movie is because where they split the Guardians up.
Yeah.
We've seen more of them, probably because most of it took place out in space.
And that even brings you to the third group that I didn't even talk about was Thor. Thor's group, which is just Thor, Rocket, and Groot.
Yeah.
And, you know, that's probably why they got a lot more showtime. And, I mean, you know, there's other groups, too. I mean, you had Thanos and Gamora. Like, that was a pairing, you know. But, you know, it felt... They handled all the characters better than I thought they would. I figured, you know... They're
not all shuffled out.
Yeah. I thought it was better handled than Age of Ultron. You know, because whereas in Age of Ultron, Thor just kind of leaves for like 30 minutes of the movie and then he comes back. Like this, you never felt like you couldn't keep track of anybody. Like, you knew where everybody was and what they were trying to accomplish at any given time. It was very well told, for sure. For sure. Yeah. And even there are two people missing, and Hawkeye.
Yeah, they even say where they're at.
Yeah. I mean...
Which I think I have my theories why they mention it.
Well, I mean, we can kick it out. Why do you think they mentioned it?
Well, somebody brought them up. They said, well, where's Clint and where's Scott? And Black Widow said, well, they made a deal. They're on house arrest.
Right.
And I think the reason why that they brought that out was not only to let us know that, you know, hey, Ant-Man and Hawkeye's not going to be
not in the movie. Yeah.
They're not in it. Even though we at least expected it, I think.
I definitely
beforehand.
I thought Hawkeye would be in it for sure. I mean,
he's even in the poster.
No, he's not. Hawkeye and Ant-Man are not in the poster.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Yeah, that was the big thing. Yeah, with all the Hawkeyes.
The reason why that they mentioned Scott and Clint being gone, I think, is because in Ant-Man and the Wasp, we'll see them, but this is going to be before Infinity War.
I completely agree. I think we can pretty much assume the next two movies between here and Infinity War Part 2, whatever it's going to be called, will be prequels. I mean, we know Captain Marvel is a 90s movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think even Tim Geddes was saying that, you know, he wouldn't be surprised if it was kind of like Captain America, where like the beginning and ending of it is, you know, present day.
But the most of it's going to take place in the 90s.
Right. And that I think that would be good. I don't even really want to see her hit Earth until the end of the movie. I don't want to see any fallout of Infinity War until the end of the movie. Like, until... I really think... Let's just go ahead and talk about it, because there's a lot of great stuff in this movie. Let's get to the ending, because that's the big part that I really want to dive deep into. Like, everyone dies. Not everybody. Most everyone is dead.
Yes.
And I've got to be honest with you. When we're sitting there in the theater watching it, and you see, like, everyone start to turn to dust, and the music completely cuts out, and, like, Thanos snaps his fingers.
And you can hear them.
Yeah. And, like, you see them all turn to dust. And it was so unsettling. Not even in, like, a... you know, oh, one of my favorite Avengers just died. Like, not even in that way. Just in a... It felt like watching The Rapture. And I know that that's crazy, okay? Like, but it felt like when you watch, like, Left Behind. Mm-hmm. Or The Leftovers or something. Where they're just gone. Especially the after credit scene. With Nick Fury and Robin Scherbatsky.
Don't even call her by her full name.
Wasn't Amanda Hill? Is it Amanda Hill? Something Hill. It's Robin Scherbatsky. Maria Hill.
I think it's Maria.
Robin Sparkles. But even when you're watching that and, like, you see, like, a car crash and nobody's in the car, and you see, like, the helicopter go down because nobody's piloting it, it's just so unsettling. And I think they really sold it by not having any music, by not comforting you at all. Like, oh, this is just a movie, you're fine. Like, this isn't reality. No, they sell this like you're watching a documentary or something. And, you know, maybe it's unfair to expect this from other movies, right? Because they've had 10 years to grow this whole universe. I mean, 18 movies before this one.
Yeah.
And it's just so it's like a punch to the gut. I mean, when you finish this movie, I was speechless. I mean, I was in the theater. I turned on an Instagram video and was trying to be like, hey, we just finished Infinity War. And I couldn't talk. It was just so...
Which is a rarity.
It is very rare. It was just so gut-wrenching. Thanks. It was just so gut-wrenching. I couldn't believe it. Couldn't believe how I felt walking out of it. And I mean, of course, seeing, people like Falcon, I love Falcon. Seeing him go, and then Rhodey is yelling for him, and he's not there.
And Rhodey didn't see him.
And I mean, even Scarlet Witch, I felt like she was relieved. You kind of see it on her face.
She did. I think she's relieved that she didn't have to deal with
losing vision.
Yeah. And then you see Rocket and Groot.
Which Groot's kind of a jerk in the entire movie, so I feel like that didn't play as well as if. I mean, can you imagine if it had been Baby Groot? I mean, that would have been... Granted, they probably wouldn't have been able to do the whole hammer thing.
No.
But, I mean, that would have been so sad. Oh my gosh. Maybe that's why they didn't do it, because it would have been too much.
And then you get back to where Tony is at, and he's got Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Nebula, Mantis, and Drax.
Yeah.
Mantis and Drax go. And then Quill goes.
Which, did you notice his eyes? Quill's eyes were red. I didn't notice it for everybody. I don't think everybody's eyes turned red. But Quill's eyes turned red as he turned to dust.
I didn't pay
they glowed red. I don't know if it's just because he's part celestial.
Probably.
But, I mean, I thought that was weird.
And then after Quill goes, it's Doctor Strange. Which Doctor Strange said, this is the only way, Tony.
Which
this is
obviously leads me to believe that this was the one way that they win.
Yeah. And then after Doctor Strange, it's Spider-Man. And
oh my gosh.
Which...
Excuse me. I thought you was about to start crying.
Oh no. In which, always seen in Spider-Man Homecoming, wherever he's under the rubble, he starts screaming out like a kid.
Because he is. He's a kid.
He's a kid.
He's 15 years old.
And then you see him start to go, and he said, I don't want to go. I don't want to go, Mr. Stark.
And he's crying. He's scared to death. And Tony realizes that there's nothing he can do.
No. There's no way that Iron Man can solve this.
I mean, not only did he fail, right, at beating Thanos, the one thing that he's been trying to protect since Avengers, he's been dealing with this whole thing. That's why he built Ultron. That's why he helped the Accords. That's why he did everything, was so that he could protect the Earth from Thanos, from this incoming invasion. And he failed at it. Mm-hmm. And then not only that, but his surrogate son, I mean, he looks at Peter like a son. We all know he does. And to see him die in his arms, and he can't do anything. I mean, I cried my eyes out in the theater. I was like, I know we're going to have a Spider-Man Homecoming 2, right?
Yeah.
I know probably 90% of these characters are coming back. But it doesn't change the fact that right now, I don't know that. Right now, I don't know what they're going to do. And sure, a year from now, we'll see how it all turned out. And hopefully it'll be a good payoff. I have a lot of theories about how they can go about it. But it doesn't change that performance. It doesn't change that Peter died. In this moment, these people died. Even if they come back, even if they reverse time or whatever, these people are gone.
In that moment,
they are dead.
Gone.
They are gone. We live in a world right now where Spider-Man is dead. And that's soul crushing. As somebody that, we grew up on Spider-Man. Mm-hmm. The cartoon on Fox Kids, comic books,
all the Tobey Maguire movies.
God. And for it to be gone, it's just, we've never seen that. We've never seen Spider-Man die. We've never seen our superheroes fail.
No.
Not on this level.
No, we're used to...
I mean, even
we're used to Tony solving it. We're used to Cap.
I mean, even in Ragnarok, when, they destroy Asgard. I mean, all the Asgardians are still alive. I mean, a lot of them.
Yeah.
And they're, it still ends hopefully, even though he lost, they still won, right? And in this, no, they lost. It is that's it. Like, they just lost. And it was just, God. I gotta say, it was even better the second time. I mean, it was a punch to the face when we watched it the first time. And then the second time, I think I felt it even more. And I don't know if that's just because I was tired on Thursday night, but I think because I knew what was coming, it was easier to watch. Not easier to watch them die, but it was easier to take in everything happening. Because the first time you watch it, it's just so overwhelming. There's so much stuff going on from the start. You know, when they killed Loki, like, and Heimdall. Like,
All I did was the first time around. All I did was cry. You can ask him. I cried when Loki went away. I cried when Gamora. I cried when all the other people started disappearing. It was heart-wrenching.
It was. It was sad. Even when she had to kill Vision.
Oh yeah.
Like, I didn't care at all. I'm just gonna be honest. I didn't care about Vision and Scarlet Witch before this movie. I mean, they were fine, but I didn't care about them. Like, when they were in Civil War, I was like, well, that's cool. They're here.
Yeah.
Like, they didn't bother me, but I didn't care. But then in this movie, I mean, they sold me on their relationship. Like, in that first scene in Scotland, I was sold. And then it came down to her having to kill him, and she did. And, you know, we kind of got that with Gamora and Peter with Quill, but, you know, we didn't get the payoff of her dying. Right? But, and then for Thanos to just come in and, oh my gosh, so heartbreaking. This whole movie, like, from the moment Thanos stabs Iron Man, when he's fighting Iron Man, from that moment, when he stabs Iron Man, the rest of the movie is just, you're on the ground and Kevin Feige is just kicking you in the teeth. Like, that's all this movie is, right?
And also Stanley, and also a few other people.
Still awesome though. Like, that's the thing, is like, even though this movie is so sad, even though it ends so heartbreaking, it's such a good movie. Like, it's such a good told story. It's just, they're able to break off all of these characters all on their own and still tell a thoroughly complete story. And even though there's more to be told, this almost feels like a part one of a two-part series finale. Like, this feels like a series finale. Like, this reminds me of, like, the Lost finale. This reminds me of the Buffy series finale. Like, this feels like the end. You know? Like, I know there's one more part to go. And the next two movies, I don't know how I'm going to be able to handle that. I'm glad we're getting Deadpool before we get Ant-Man. Because I just, right now, I'm like, I don't think I care. Like, you know, it's sad. Because it's like, yeah, this is great. I know everybody's dead, though. Like, you know, it's going to take place before it. And, like, Captain Marvel, and, you know, months are going to pass between now and then. And so it'll be a little bit easier. But, like, right now, when I think about watching Ant-Man and the Wasp, I'm just like, I don't want to. Like, it just feels
differently. I'm very pumped for Ant-Man and the Wasp.
It'll be a good movie. I love Ant-Man. That's one of my favorite movies. But it's just like, it doesn't matter. You know? Like, none of this matters because they're all dead. I mean, we don't know if Ant-Man and the Wasp are dead, obviously, but
we'll get our answer.
This is what I think. Theory time. I think Ant-Man and the Wasp. This is what I'd like to see. I'm going to give you what I'd like to see and what I think will actually happen. Ant-Man and the Wasp. Watch the entire movie. It takes place before Infinity War. Okay? We get to the climax of the film. No reference to Infinity War. What I would like to see is whatever the big bad guy is, whatever's going on. Big bad guy, this would be maybe a little bit too close to the first one. Big bad has his daughter, has Ant-Man's daughter. And he's going to kill her. And then Ant-Man is like, no, don't, because family's so important to him, right? And as he's getting ready to try and stop him, the daughter turns into dust and goes away. Maybe even the bad guy, I don't know. But, like, the climax of the movie ends with something not completely out of Ant-Man's control. Just ends with Infinity War. You know, Thanos snaps his finger, and then his daughter's gone. And I think that would be fantastic. Because if you didn't watch Infinity War, which, let's be honest, who's going to watch this that didn't watch Infinity War? I mean, I don't see that happen. I don't see anybody being like, let's go watch Ant-Man and the Wasp. You know, without having seen anything else. I don't see it.
There will be somebody that does that.
That's true. And they'll be confused. But it's worth it. Because there's all of us that did watch it, you know? That's what I would like to see. What I think will happen is the entire story will be told and everything will be fine. No mention of Infinity War. Post-credit scene happens. And then we see, like...
Captain Marvel land on planet Earth.
I don't think that'll happen. I think it'll be Hope Van Dyne and Ant-Man will be getting ready to kiss or something to that effect.
Wedding.
And she turns to dust.
Wedding.
What? Nah. Nah, they're not getting married in this. No one Iron Man's gonna get married. Come on. I don't think so.
They hate Tony Stark, so yeah.
But no, I mean, there's story-wise. Okay. I skipped right to the good stuff.
Yeah, you did.
I didn't do any lead-up of the bad stuff. Not bad. We can back up a little bit. One thing, noticed on the second go-around, I feel like, and this is going to sound ridiculous, I feel like the Infinity Stones were a little nerfed. Like, think back to Guardians of the Galaxy, okay, the first one. When all Ronan has to do is touch this gem to the floor of the planet, and the entire planet is destroyed. Right? Mm-hmm. The whole freaking planet blows up. And he's using it, and he's just like throwing people around. I don't know. I feel like as soon as he touched, maybe not Thor's forehead, but like anybody else in the movie, as soon as that purple stone touched him, I feel like that should have done it.
But that gauntlet gives him some sort of control over it. Because he was trying to get Loki to give it up.
I know. I'm not saying that, but I mean, like at the end of the movie, okay, when he's walking out of the portal and Scarlet Witch is trying to blow up Vision's stone, and he's like throwing people around, right? He's using the blue space stone, which like powered all of Hydra and like could, you know, disintegrate people, and he's just swinging around. Like they felt no more powerful than Scarlet Witch, and I feel like the Infinity Stones are way more powerful. The only time they didn't feel depowered was the Time Stone. That was the only one that really matched. But I mean, all the rest of them, I don't feel like... We didn't see him use the
I think he's holding back.
Yeah,
At the end, I think he was holding back.
I just feel like each one of these stones...
Because he knew he was going to get it.
True.
And he knew he was going to snap his fingers.
I just feel like, but why... These people are trying to stop him. Like, why would he not kill them? He's killed all these other people. Why is he just throwing them around and making trees go on?
Because he's going to get that stone, and he's going to be like, well, half of them be gone.
I know. I feel like anytime we've seen these stones, it was a world-ending event. And then you get 6 of them together, and they're as powerful as Scarlet Witch. I don't know. I'm not saying this is a bad movie.
I know you're not.
I'm just saying.
I'm just trying to give my 2 cents.
I understand. I'm not arguing with it. I'm not arguing with it. Don't take it that way. I just feel like they were a little nerfed. That's all. Aside from that, I can't really think of anything. That was my only real 2 complaints, and they're not even really that complaining.
Hello. Bruce Banner in the Hulk Buster suit. The CGI is still, second time around, still didn't match up. It looked like, they took a picture of the Hulkbuster and they just cut and paste
it looked like
his face, Mark Ruffalo's face onto it.
It looked like something I would do. Like, it didn't look great.
Even, there's one shot of War Machine and you see him. And
his head.
It doesn't look like the neckline matches up right.
It just... I don't know. I don't know if they ran out of time or what. Some of the CG was low. Thanos looked great. It's like they spent all their time on Thanos.
You see close-up... there's a close-up of Thanos at some point.
Is it when he throws Gamora? When he's crying?
I think whenever she's talking, it shows, the back of his neck. You can see, the flipping pores all over him.
Yeah.
And, by, bumps and stuff.
They did awesome on Thanos.
And I mean, yeah, if you see the comic book version of Thanos, he's got the lines in his chins, which they do.
Yeah, at least fun.
But, you can tell, he's got...
He looks
got
real.
Pores, he's got skin.
And I don't know
if... real.
And even, his 4 kids, or whatever they are, the Dark Order, is that it? I don't know, it don't matter. It don't matter. But from where they're... even they look good.
Yeah.
They don't look as good as Thanos, but I mean...
Midnight. She could look like she was related to Steppenwolf.
Yeah, she looked okay. The Voldemort-looking one was fine.
Yeah, he looked...
They looked like aliens. I mean...
Yeah.
Like, they looked as good as, like, the Chitauri.
He looked the best, though, I think.
I thought the Hulk-looking one looked good.
Yeah.
I mean, but he's just a big monster. Like...
Yeah.
It's kind of hard to do that wrong.
But the one that looks like Voldemort, he looked really, really good.
I was going to say the Hulk Buster. I don't know if you guys seen the video. I think I showed it to you. The funny Avengers trailer.
Yes.
Okay. Do you remember when Hulkbuster shows up and it's Mark Ruffalo?
Yeah.
And he's superimposed it. He's like, it's Mark Ruffalo! Hey! It looked exactly like that. Like, it looked exactly, almost to the point where I thought maybe they were doing a reference to that. Because, I mean, it looked the exact same. I'm going to throw the clip in right here of it. It looked the exact same.
Yes.
Like, I was like, what are they doing?
Really good as Spider-Man in his new suit. And also, Tony's new suit.
I like Tony's new suit. I like the way it works. I like that at the end, because Thanos is, like, tearing up, like, beating the crap out of him. And in order to have enough power to do the other hand, he steals some of the suit from his leg.
Yeah.
I thought that was really cool. Like, even in that moment, they took the time to make sure that the science of it all made sense. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
Spider-Man suit is fine. I like the regular Spider-Man suit. Honestly, it wasn't different enough for me. Like, it looked just like his regular Spider-Man suit. I feel like if they're going to do Iron Spider, just go for it. Full red and gold. Like, this looked like his regular suit, just made out of, just shiny. It was fine. It was fine, and I mean...
It's cool. The legs pop out of his bag, and he goes, oh, wow, what are these?
I know, but that's what I'm saying. If they're going to do Iron Spider, like, just do it. Like, this was too... It's like they... It's kind of like, remember in Winter Soldier, the way Captain America's suit looked? And then do you remember when they did Avengers 2? And then when they did Civil War? And Cap's wearing 3 different suits in those movies. But they all look the exact same. They're just a little bit different. That's what it looked like. It's like they only changed it enough so that there would be a new toy. But it's still easily recognizable as Spider-Man. That's what it felt like to me. Maybe it would have been too much to do a full red and gold Spider-Man suit. Maybe it would have looked terrible. I can see that. I don't know. I feel like they could have went a little bit further. And the legs didn't do much. What'd they do?
They helped save Mantis.
Yeah. But I mean, he didn't use them in any real way.
Realize something weird.
You love Mantis.
I've always loved Mantis.
That's true. Mantis is great. Show me your mean face. Get your game face on.
Then when she gets scared.
Magnificent! I'm so happy he died. I'm just gonna say. I just wish we could have seen him die. I really wanted to see him die. I don't like him.
It's the Grandmaster's boyfriend you're talking about.
I wish they were boyfriends. Can you imagine the Grandmaster? I'm sorry, hey, I'm gonna walk you down a little road here. Can you imagine if the Grandmaster and Jeff Goldblum Jeff Goldblum is the Grandmaster. Can you imagine if Jeff Goldblum, the Grandmaster, and the Collector... I'm saying that all together. Can you imagine if Jeff Goldblum, the Grandmaster, and the Collector got together as a couple? I'm just saying, I would watch that movie. That would be the weirdest Marvel movie.
I'd watch
Throwing
that
Howard
TV
the Duck.
show.
Throwing Howard the Duck. And is it Daryl?
No.
Yeah.
Peter.
No, Daryl.
Oh, yeah, Daryl.
From Thor's apartment.
Yes.
Throwing Daryl. I would watch that. There's your phase 5 right there. When they're out of ideas, they just do that.
I had a realization in the movie theater.
Yeah.
I think Thursday night that there's someone named Mantis. There's someone named Ant-Man. There's someone named Spider-Man. They were all bugs. cannot.
There's also Black Widow.
Black Widow. Add that to the list.
I think
All the
I just
insects.
did. There's more in there. Isn't there more? Loki's kind of a bug. It's got the antlers of a bug. Bugs have antlers? I guess it'd be more antenna.
Anyways, I just thought that was interesting that there's that many characters named after insects and arachnids.
Which they do even bring up when he's like, so wait, so there's an Ant-Man and a Spider-Man? I am Groot. I am Steve Rogers. Simple joke. Loved it. Laugh at it every time. Such a simple joke. Don't care. It's so funny. Cap's hair in that scene does not look great.
No.
His scene in the subway looks great.
Great.
Hair looks awesome. Looks on point. In the final battle in Wakanda, it's just, I don't know. Doesn't look great. It's fine. It's fine. It doesn't destroy the movie. Ruins the movie for me. Takes me all the way out of it. I'm kidding. No. Watching Doctor Strange and Iron Man interact.
Which they have similar personalities, even though Strange has changed
It's true.
a lot. But they have similar personalities because the one thinks that they're smarter than the other.
It's true.
And Doctor Strange is pretty smart. And so is Tony Stark.
So let's talk a little bit. Let's break it down. Who's your favorite character in this movie? I haven't even thought about this myself. I guess if I had to say right now my favorite character, I would probably say
I know.
I know who my favorite group is. I think for me it's a very easy pick. It's the Guardians / Iron Man. Like that group at the end, that's my favorite group in the whole movie. If I had to, like, out of them, my favorite character...
Out of that group, for me,
Iron Man.
is Doctor Strange.
Well, yeah, but he's your favorite, though.
Yeah, but my favorite out of this whole entire movie,
Yeah.
you're probably going to be blown away by this.
It's Thor.
Thor.
No way, really? Is it Thor? He was good. He did really good.
He did great in Ragnarok, but
He did.
I think he does...
He was very funny in Ragnarok, and he carried over some of that comedy.
Yeah.
But he also really got, when he's talking to Rocket...
About what else happened.
About everybody that
to
died.
him.
Yeah. That was heartbreaking. Like, and he cries. And I was like, that felt earned. Like, that was a very good scene by Chris Hemsworth. I don't want Chris Hemsworth to leave this series.
He explains how he's lost everything.
And here's the other thing. I hate all the Thor movies but Ragnarok, and don't give a crap about Thor most of the time. But ever since Ragnarok, he is climbing the charts. He's awesome. I love him. And he kept calling Rocket Rabbit. Which
Rabbit.
made me laugh uncontrollably every time. Every time he called him Rabbit, I was on the floor. I was loudly laughing.
And also
People
the
were
fact that
irritated.
Thor could understand Groot, and he explained why he could understand Groot as an elective.
It was an elective. He was really funny. He's solid in this. I don't know if
I keep on thinking about Thor. I think, to me, that's who I really like the most.
I feel like Iron Man sticks out the most, I guess. But that's just because I feel like if anybody is the main character of this movie, I feel like it's Iron Man.
Yeah.
I feel like he's the only one, really, that we get a lone scene with, is Iron Man. There's the scene with him and Pepper, and there's the scene with him and Thanos at the end. And then even at the very end, when everyone dies, I mean, sure, Nebula's there, but I feel like
practically by himself, because he does not know Nebula that well.
Yeah, I feel like Iron Man is, if you could say any one character is the lead of this movie, I think it'd be Iron Man. And this definitely felt, what's so great about this movie is it feels right for every character in it. Like we were talking about this earlier, it feels like Guardians of the Galaxy 3, right? It feels like Iron Man 5, because Civil War and Spider-Man are Iron Man 4. So this would be Iron Man 5.
It could be another Thor movie.
Yeah, especially the fact that it picks up right after
Ragnarok.
Like right where Ragnarok ends. So good.
Post-credit scene.
Yeah, it was so good. And like Kevin was saying, it ends so hopeful in Ragnarok, and then you're just floored at the beginning, man. And I'm glad that there's a throwaway line where they say that he killed half of the Asgardians.
Yeah.
And I'm glad they said that because that makes sense.
Yeah.
In the future for if there's more Asgardians, like
Which
Valkyrie.
Yeah.
And Cord. Hopefully, I'm just assuming all those were on another ship. I'm just gonna imagine that. They never talk about another ship, but maybe they got away. I don't know. But I mean, there's a lot of that supporting cast of Ragnarok that I really hope survived. Yeah. And you don't see them dead, so I feel like that at least gives you some hope.
Yeah, definitely.
If we get another Thor, I don't know. I don't know if we'll get another Thor. I don't know if they'll do that. I think at this point, we can kind of talk about this. I feel like at this point, most of the solo characters of the first 22 movies in the MCU, I feel like we're not going to see another, and I could be wrong, but I feel like we're done seeing Iron Man, Thor, and Captain America in their own solo movies. Mm-hmm. I don't know if, depending on how this all shakes out, they may not be in it at all. But I think if they are there, that they're just going to be supporting much in the same way that Iron Man was in Spider-Man 4.
Which I told you whenever we were on our way back home from the second time we watched it, that I think, Thor has pretty much survived it all so far.
It's true.
I can see Thor staying as like a background character, not so much
kind of serving as like Iron Man.
Yeah.
In Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Which I could see a Thor Doctor Strange pairing, and we kind of talked about this on the way back. Like,
please,
because the thing is, we really want to see a Loki Doctor Strange movie. Like where Loki and Doctor Strange have to either work together or work against each other. I don't know. Either one.
Even Tom Hiddleston said he would come back.
Yeah. And I feel like that's too good to not do. And the thing is, Doctor Strange is like the head of the multiverse when it comes to Marvel. He can go to the other dimensions. He can control time, which he can't anymore, but...
Not for now.
Right. He could control time. I feel like... Also, here's another... I feel like all the Infinity Stones are gone by the end of this. I don't think anybody's going to have any of these powers. I don't think Time Stone's coming back. Like, once this is done, I think we close the book on all the stones. He might get another spell that does the same thing, but I don't think he'll use the stone.
Yeah.
I could see... Take it down a little walk here. I could see a Doctor Strange Thor movie, and in order to stop whatever the big bad is... I don't think it's going to be Marmaduke or whatever his name is. Mordo. But...
God, you kill me. I'm not getting that right.
I don't think it would be against him, but I could see them having to go to hell and get Loki. Yeah. And bringing Loki out of... whatever they call it. They may call it it won't be the Dark World, but whatever they call it. I could see them having to do that. Maybe it's even like a Goku thing where it's like just for a limited time only. Like he can only come out for 24 hours or something. I don't know.
Oh, God.
Well, I'm just saying. He doesn't have a halo over his head, but I'm just saying, like, I could see them doing that. I could see, like, if any of the characters could do it, Doctor Strange and Thor would be the ones to do it. Yeah. And Loki would be somebody that you could pull out of hell and send back, I don't know. I think that would be cool.
Oh, hello.
What?
Peter Dinklage.
Oh, yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
That's all I have to say about it. Now, I don't know. They did the thing, like, it's like, oh, he's a dwarf. I don't know. I always think it looks goofy when people are, like, 20 times larger than normal. It makes me think of Honey, I Blew Up the Kids. Or the Blew Up the Baby.
Blew Up the Kid.
Blew Up the Baby. Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Honey, I Blew Up the Baby.
No, it's Honey, I Blew Up the Kid.
No, it's not. It's Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. Honey, I Blew Up the Baby. I will show you right now.
I'm right.
There it is.
I'm right. I've watched it 1,000 times.
When did they change it?
They've never changed it, man. It's always been that.
I feel like, what's that theory?
It's that crazy one.
Where the world has changed.
And you think Berenstain Bears was spelled differently.
The Mandela effect. I'm telling you right now, living the Mandela effect. I would have
I've always known
swore.
it as blew up
I
the
would have
kid.
swore it was Blew Up the Baby. I would have bet dollars to donuts it was Blew Up the Baby. Man. Okay. All right. Yeah, you got it. Anyway, I always think it looks goofy. Like when people are just blown up hugely. I mean, it's fine. Like, it was cool. And I guess, like, the dwarves are the ones that made the hammer and stuff. Yeah, it's fine. I don't know. He's such a good actor. Like, they could have done anything with him. They didn't even have to make him huge. Like, he can be normal. I just think it looks goofy. Reminds me of BFG. That looks stupid. I never watched it. That was a Steven Spielberg Disney movie. Should be right up my alley, and I thought it looked terrible. So I never watched it.
Scary.
Thought it looked scary?
Like creepy. Like just seeing the giant stuff, it just no.
Yeah. Not a fan. Not a fan. I like Thor's new hammer.
Mm-hmm.
Beta Ray Bill's hammer.
That is true.
That's awesome. Maybe we'll get Beta Ray Bill. I doubt it. Nobody wants to see a horse with a hammer flying around everywhere. I mean, yes, of course I do. I actually had a theory. Now, was it Winter Soldier? Oh. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yes.
So you think Rocket should have got his heart?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll give you that.
And taking the eyeball out of Thor's other eye?
Okay. How'd you feel about Thanos? Yeah. He did look like that. I completely agree.
Mm-hmm.
Anybody else find it interesting that the ships look like donuts and people have been making the Homer Simpson joke about Thanos? I don't know. I thought that. I don't know. That was one thing I thought of when they said that. Alright, so here are my theories.
Here we go. 3 of them.
I've got 3. I've got a 4th one, but it's a post-credits thing. First one, the first 2 are very similar. I think what's going to happen is the fallout of the films, right? Mm-hmm. It'll all be handled somehow. And it's going to come down to one person needing to sacrifice themselves to make everything work out, right? Whether it's bring everybody back or whatever, I don't know. And it's going to come down to Tony. Tony's going to sacrifice his life to do it. Pepper, while Tony's getting ready to do it, Pepper's going to tell him that she is pregnant. Tony's going to be a dad. And so Tony is going to make the decision that he's going to do it anyway. And Cap is going to punch him in the face, knock him out. And then he's going to do it. And then we're going to skip ahead at the end of the movie a year later, you know, after everything's rebuilt, and there's like a memorial service for everybody, you know, remembering what happened. Yeah. You know, kind of like a 9/11 memorial, right? And we're going to see their baby. And the baby's name is Steve. That's what I think. That was the first thought I had. Then the second thought I had was, well, what if same basic setup, but Iron Man actually dies?
Yeah.
Maybe the baby don't play into that one as much, but Iron Man dies. Because in this universe, in the comics, it makes sense for Cap to die. In this, Tony is the father of the universe. Mm-hmm. All start with Iron Man. This wraps up the whole first story of the MCU. Mm-hmm. Having Iron Man die, I think, is the perfect way to wrap up this story. Like there is everything that happens with Iron Man, and then everything that happens after Iron Man. And I don't think you then just recast Iron Man. I don't think you do an Iron Man 4. Mm-mm. I don't think Shuri flies around in the Iron Man suit, the Wakanda Iron Man suit. I mean, it'd be cool, and like they have Ironheart that she could kind of become, but I don't think you do that. I think you let Iron Man stay dead for a while, maybe even the whole next story, at least
next phase.
At least the next phase, but I would say even the next 3 phases. Like if they do these things, this is almost like a trilogy, right? Like it's 3 phases. I think until this next story ends, Iron Man's just not a part of it. Make the world want Iron Man again. I mean, imagine now if we went 10 years without Iron Man. Like we've gone 10 years with Iron Man. Now imagine we go 10 years without. I think that'd be crazy. And you got plenty of people to pick up the burden. I think Spider-Man is the obvious answer. But that's what I think. So one of those. Either Cap dies for Iron Man, so Iron Man can have a son, float right off into the sunset, son's named Steve, all that. Or, in an even bigger twist, Bucky does it. Bucky dies. And they name the kid Bucky. That plays a little too much in a Civil War, so I don't know if, that wouldn't really... I feel like at the end of the movie, at the end of Avengers Infinity War Part 2, or whatever it's called, it has to come down to Cap and Iron Man. I think those two are... they were the leaders of the two groups. Like, at the end of the movie, when Thor comes back to Earth, there's Cap's group and there's Iron Man's group. And there's a reason that they kept those two characters apart from each other this whole movie, especially after Civil War. Like, I feel like that's the build-up. When you finally get those two back together, that's the payoff of the whole thing. Mm-hmm. Theory number 3 is kind of totally different. I think Thanos is driven crazy. I think that the Soul Stone, and this could play into the other two also. I think that in the comic books, the Soul Stone requires souls in order to be powered. Mm-hmm. That's why Gamora had to die. I'm going to say die. Because I don't think Gamora's dead. I think the Soul Stone required a sacrifice. Sacrifice of something you love, right? But it had to be a person. Like, you couldn't just chuck a...
chocolate bar.
Yeah. Like, it had to be somebody. It had to have a soul. Right? Mm-hmm. I think the Soul Stone requires a soul to be powered. When he chucked someone down there, that soul powered the Infinity Stone for the first time. That's why it woke up, right? So I think, even though we see her body, when the Soul Stone does its thing, I would almost bet, because we don't see her body after that, I would almost bet she turns to dust at that point. And she is the first inhabitant of this Soul Stone, soul world. Dead world, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. But I feel like when everybody turns to dust, they don't die. They go into the Soul Stone. Because, in the comics, that's where it gets its powers. I don't know, they could change it. I think all the people go into the Soul Stone, and then they haunt Thanos in the next movie, and it drives him mad. Alright, we lost the last little bit of footage there, so we're just going to knock this last bit back out. Basically, it left off where Infinity War Part 2, my third theory, which was Thanos. Thanos revolved around it.
Thanos would be haunted by...
That Thanos is going to be haunted by the people from the Soul Stone. Specifically Gamora, maybe everybody. Theory is that basically Thanos is driven mad and possibly even realizes what he did was wrong. Mm-hmm. If there's anything that the Russos have showed us, with Winter Soldier and Civil War, is that they love a redemption story, right? Mm-hmm. Yeah. They've tried to talk about Thanos saying that he's as good as a villain as like Killmonger, which is just ridiculous. Killmonger's awesome. You understand where he's come from.
Yes.
Thanos he's still a villain. Like, I understand his line of thinking, but I don't think any normal person would agree that it makes sense, right?
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe that's just me. So, I could see him realizing that what he did was wrong. So, I think that possibly the story may revolve even around time travel. I don't want to see anything like, something as clean as Back to the Future or something as simple as Superman the movie where they just reverse time and everything goes back to normal. I don't want to see that. I want to see them almost Days of Future Past it, right? Where I could see a scene where Shuri, is that her name? Siri, whatever.
I don't think it's Siri.
But where her and Tony basically have like the day everyone died, and then like a web, like a Crazy Man's timeline of all the different points in the past that they need to fix in order to stop Thanos, right? And so maybe we could see Tony like going throughout time interacting with like basically every time we've seen a stone. So in the 40s with Captain America, World War II, the day of the attack on New York, maybe even with Ronin, in
Yeah.
Captain America or in
Guardians
Guardians of the Galaxy. And seeing all these big events throughout the history. And so you keep seeing Thanos as if he's going to try and stop him, right? Like he comes up, he shows up at the end, and he breaks through whatever they're doing, and he shows up on the day of where they're going to stop Thanos finally. Like we get to that moment where they've affected everything, and now here's their best chance at saving the world from Thanos. Reliving the climax of this movie, but now with the altered future, right? And so we see Thanos, he breaks through, and we're like, oh crap, like we did all this, but now Thanos is just going to stop it all anyway. And then Thanos kills himself, like his past, the self that we saw in this movie. He kills that one, breaks his neck or whatever, because he knows that what he did was wrong, and that it ruined things. I could see that. I don't see how my other two theories would really fall into that as easily, where like somebody has to give themselves to save everyone, but that's how I see it. My last theory. Okay. Last theory, this is post-credits Infinity War Part 2, or whatever it's called. It's dark. We're in space. Everything's wrapped up. Thanos is dead. I don't know. Everything's done. We're getting ready to enjoy Spider-Man summer break, right? Spider-Man spring break, whatever they decide to call it. Happy-go-lucky movie. We need that after all this stuff. All this stuff has been just heartbreaking. We need a good, clean, fun movie, right? Final end credit scene. It's dark. We're in space. We see a planet. The planet is just sitting there. And then we see an undefined shadow come over the planet. Okay? We don't know what it is. It's no real shape. It's just a shadow. The planet starts to crumble. Fall to pieces. Out of the crumbling is a tiny, shiny glimmer. A speck. A lens flare. Gets closer to the camera. We don't see it. We don't know what it is. Till about 10 frames before the end of the movie. Before it just cuts to black. Right? Mm-hmm. Gets closer. It's shiny. Can't make it out. Silver Surfer. And it's Galactus. And that's what phase 4 or 5 or 6. Maybe that's what we're building to in this second section. I don't know. But Silver Surfer shows up at some point and is like, you've got Galactus coming. You're going to have to get back together, the Avengers. And what else? You're also going to need the smartest man in the world, Mr. Fantastic. And that is the next phase of Marvel. Because we already know they bought Fox, right? Like they're buying Fox. We got to incorporate these people anyway. What do you do after Infinity War, right? After this huge thing, what can you do? I mean, you could do Secret Wars, but I think that's dumb. Send everybody to a planet to fight. That's dumb. You could do Marvel Zombies, which would be awesome, but wouldn't make a lot of sense to a lot of people. You do Galactus. We've already got the Celestials already popping up in Guardians of the Galaxy. I mean, they even went back to nowhere in this, which is the decapitated head of basically Galactus. It's a different one, but, you know, how awesome would that be? That would be killer. And it's so different from Thanos. Sure, it's world-destroying, but it's almost like the Avengers versus Godzilla, right? Mm-hmm. Like, it's just this huge thing. Like, imagine them fighting people on a person. That's Galactus. Oh, it'd be so good. I think that's what you do. And, I didn't say this in the last one, you get John Krasinski and Emily Blunt, Mr. and Mrs. Fantastic. It's a quiet place. Done. Send me the check, Marvel. Send it my way. That's how you do it. That's it. That's all I gotta say. I think I said something about bringing Wolverine in the last time. But the idea is, you know, send them off right. Fox don't love us. You know, they're not going to do a final good send-off like Infinity War for the X-Men. Just, you know, bring in Hugh Jackman to Infinity War Part 2. He doesn't have to be Logan. He doesn't have to be, you know, he doesn't have to be anything. Mm-mm. He doesn't have claws. He doesn't have the hair. But he is Wolverine. We all know he is, but they don't call him that. And he's just in it so that we can say goodbye. Once and for all. Alright. That's it. That's all I got. That's all I got. That's all I got.
Okay.
Maggie, Infinity War. Any last words?
There are no words.
I think that just about says it all.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of Infinity War? Leave a comment below. If you like this video, let us know. We'll make some more of them. We'll review other movies in the future. Probably less theories and more just talking about how much we liked it. Was there something we missed? Was there something you wish we would have talked about? Comment. We'll take a stab at it. Sure. I mean, we'll post a little update, maybe on Instagram story or something. I don't know. But yeah, let us know. Like, subscribe, follow, do all that fun stuff. That's it. That's all I got. Thanks for watching. Have a hopefully awesome day.
Have a marvelous day.
No!